Welcome to March's edition of the Fertility Talk Show. I am your host, Dr. Uju Eze, aka Dr. Love. This show is hosted by Love Foundation, which is a fertility support organization, based in Port Harcourt, River State. And we are into fertility education, awareness, advocacy, and support. We do this through our various programs like the fertility counseling program, our reproductive health education program, our fertility treatment support, and advanced fertility solutions. Why do we do this? Because we have the vision of making families complete. So welcome. Today on the show, we have a second timer. She has been on this show before and she really blew our minds, and we deemed it fit to invite her again for this very important topic that we'll be treating today. She is no other than Mrs. Ifeinwa Enabulele. Welcome, ma. Thank you so much for joining us again for another edition. So, straight to today's topic. Today we are talking about Tfesh. Yes, before you're wondering, what is Tfesh? Tfesh is the flagship program of the Love Foundation, which we hold every year in the month of June. It is just a short form for the fertility show. It is our infertility party. We have that event once every year to celebrate all those who are on their fertility journey, still struggling and trying to conceive. We gather these people and then educate them, entertain them, and just make them for one day forget about anything around fertility challenges. We make it a fun-filled event where they learn, meet people, and have fun. Another edition is coming very soon, and we just want to talk a little bit about it from someone who has been gracious enough to join us on today's edition and who has also been a participant in that event. So, Zifi, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
You have attended the fertility show, which we have now coined to Tfesh.
Yes.
This is Tfesh 5.0. As a matter of fact, this is the 5th edition that we'll be holding this year. How amazing is that? But you have attended more than once.
I've attended twice.
Yes. You have attended that show twice. So let's just talk about what was the experience like for you.
Well, okay. So far, my experience has been great, especially the first and second.
Okay.
The first time I was able to, meet other people who see those who are having challenges, when it comes to fertility issues and, a lot of insightful teachings.
Okay.
I'll put it like that, lectures and the doctors that came in and talked on different, aspects of fertility. So I had to come for the second time, and the second time actually blew my mind, and we'll keep coming because I'm
Yes, let me even give this disclaimer. This show is attended by those who are trying to conceive and those who have even completed their family size.
Yeah.
There is this lady, she has also been on this show, Mrs. Deborah Oyewole. She never misses that program. We have a culture in Love Foundation, and that culture is that you learn to teach others. So even though it is an event tailored for those on their fertility journey, it's not necessarily restricted to those who are trying to conceive, because it's a learning platform and it's open to people who are interested in fertility health, and they come and they learn and they have a lot of fun. So you have told us that was the experience, fun, teaching, explanations, and all of that. But aside from you now, what do you think that program might mean to all those people that attend?
For me, it goes beyond the fertility. It goes beyond just knowing about fertility. For those who have attended, I actually came in contact with one or two who have actually benefited from the program. And the testimonies has been mind-blowing, because there are some things that they never knew, which the program has opened their eyes. They were enlightened. There are some do's and don'ts in life, and it also happens in when they are going through fertility journey. Now,
Okay.
it's not just, like you said, it's not just those who are joining into the fertility program, but it goes beyond that, because even those who have stopped childbearing, they still have other family members. So they come,
Exactly.
they learn, and they go and educate other people.
Yes.
So by the time they go and educate other people, those people will say, I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from the horse's mouth. And they come. That's how they go and ask him.
Okay, so that's beautiful. It has been an interesting journey even for us who are the hosts.
Yeah.
I remember the first of this event we had. I think only 6 people attended.
Oh.
As in 6 actual participants.
Yeah.
The rest of the crowd was made up of facilities that came. So people from the medical field, the speakers, of course, members of staff, protocol, ushers. I think all that made up to the almost 30 people that we had in attendance on that day. But the second event was more, it was better attended. We were over 60 people, so almost double the size. Yes. So it has always grown year after year. And I think what you said now really made sense, because when people attend and tell some other people, they're like, no, I don't want to hear this or from the side. Next day I'm going to try to attend. And I think that is something that has really helped. It shows that program is something that catches people's attention. You know, it catches their attention. It makes them want to come back again. See, you have attended twice. That's amazing. And I know somebody who has attended at least, I think the entire 4 times we have held the program, she has attended. She keeps coming. She's pursuing to be a grandmother, as a matter of fact, but she keeps coming to hear different things that are happening. And, you know, in the fertility space, she has a lot of people, maybe church members, relatives.
So she's educating
she keeps coming to learn from that program, to educate those around her, to have good, proper, correct information to pass on. You know, when it comes to fertility health, there are a lot of rubbish information out there.
Yeah.
And so this platform, the Fertility Show, is one that gives people the opportunity to come and actually learn the correct information, which they can either apply to themselves for their own journey or use in educating those that are around them. So it has been helpful in that light. Don't go anywhere. We are coming back. Welcome back. This is the Fertility Talk Show, and I am Dr. Love. Fertility Talk Show is brought to you by the Love Foundation. You can follow us across all our social media handles. If you are watching this, you should be watching it from our YouTube channel. If you are watching this program for the first time and you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget to like, share, and comment so that you can also join us in educating every other person about fertility health. Today with me, I still have Mrs. Ife Enabulele, and she is here with me discussing Tfesh, the fertility show that is proudly hosted by the Love Foundation. So Mrs. Ife, we are in Tfesh 5.0. That's really mind-blowing. It looks like just yesterday that we started.
From year to year, it keeps expanding.
Every year it keeps expanding, keeps getting better, and this is the 5th edition. That is so huge for us, and I'm really grateful to God for how far He has brought us in hosting this program. So this program is holding in June again. So every year it happens in June, usually the last Saturday of the month, and we are hoping that happens again this year. But something interesting happened last year. We were able to take this show to Enugu State.
Wow. That's huge.
Yes, so that was something very big that we accomplished last year. And believe it or not, it's had a lot of impact. Funny enough, I was thinking that we will still have like 6 people attending. The first show we had in Enugu, we had roughly 20 people that attended.
Wow.
That was huge for us.
Yeah.
Compared to our first experience in Port Harcourt. And already from that program, there are some very mind-blowing testimonies already. People who had been struggling with decisions, you know, had made up their mind after the program, after what they learned, after what they heard.
Yeah.
They made up their minds on what they needed to do. They learned about their options. Okay. So one interesting thing about the fertility journey is that there are various ways to achieve results.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, many people do not even know about these various ways, or some are skeptical. They are not sure if it will really work, you know, or they just need some kind of clarity and encouragement. And that was delivered to the attendees in Enugu State. And we have a lot of people who have already started their procedures, you know, pursuing their fertility journey
and getting results
intentionally and interestingly getting results. These are people who otherwise have waited for years, some of them 6 years, 7 years, really doing nothing much, you know, just trying all sorts of things randomly. But now they are intentional, they are making progress, they are achieving results, and they can attribute it to the fertility show. So season 5, like we popularly want to call it, talk about it. Do you think Tfesh should continue?
Of course, Tfesh should continue. Like I always tell people, information is power. When you stop informing people, you stop growing, and other people stop hearing what they're supposed to hear. Because now this, like the last edition, the testimonies I heard from people, I got my results, I did this, I did this. So people they are enlightened about the different options they have in their fertility journey. You have the surrogacy, you have the adoption process, the IVF process. These are things that people, they're just nonchalant about. Maybe they're just, they're not encouraged. But the program was able to, you know, the doctors that came to speak and other people, they were able to, not just by convincing them, but giving them, you know, the purpose of why they should go through it. And how they, not only why they should, and how they can, you know, overcome, you know, that challenge. And it's, you know, it's something that it was, because that day I saw people, they were asking questions.
Yes.
So it shows that you've actually brought that information to their table. To their table, because if they just stay in their homes, their houses, it will not come to them.
That's true.
But you giving opportunity for, because some persons, they actually don't know how to come out to attend this program, or they don't know who to speak with. But when they come out and see other persons, I'm not the only one in this, in this condition, in this challenge. They see other people, they are able to communicate, share information, and so they come, they sit, and they get information, and they talk within themselves. I didn't know about this. I didn't know about this. And from that moment, they go out, they start, you know, pushing ahead. So it's a form of encouragement to those who have been discouraged.
This is very interesting. Yes, it's a form of encouragement to those who have been discouraged, those who probably have lost hope, those who probably felt that there was no other way out for them. But they hear things that really, you know, motivates them and then gets them going. And luckily, many of them start getting their results, something that would not have happened outside the information that they received. While you were talking about that, you know, coming together and hearing things that encourage them, I remember something that one of the doctors said. I think one doctor said it, and then a lawyer also said another thing that I think really, really shifted people's perspective. So one of the doctors said that Jesus Christ you are following, for those of you that are church goers here, Jesus Christ is a surrogate child.
That's true.
Even me, it shook me for some reason, and I was like, okay, think about it. Yes. So yes, you know, they said Jesus Christ was the surrogate, Mary was the donor, you know, and the Holy Spirit, you know, that empowers that. That was very interesting for me. And she got pregnant, and the child is the child of God, you know, and all of that. And someone else talking about adoption said, we all are adopted children of God. So for people who are saying, oh, my culture, I cannot adopt, if you say you're a Christian, you're an adopted child. So
Yeah.
there is no need of
Correct.
saying I'm biased towards adoption.
Towards
It's not my blood. It's not, are you having God's blood, but God adopted you? So those are two very things that really stood out, even for me. And I know it really shifted a lot of people's perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the things that this program aims to achieve is to shift people's perspective, to shift their mindset, to, you know, open up their understanding and help them know that a lot of things that people are thinking, suffering over, breaking their head over, thinking about who will say what, depressed about, are things that they can easily come out from if they just have the right information. That was very, very interesting. Thank you very much. So Tfesh has been happening. This is the 5th edition, but the organization doesn't really have government support. Let me just put it plainly. The organization, you know, finds a way to rally around. The program costs a lot of money. You don't want to even know. It costs a lot of money to host this program, you know. You call people, there are no tickets, so people come for free. They are entertained. All the logistics involved. It's a lot of expenses and handled. Imagine last year I said we had to travel all the way to Enugu to host this program. Unfortunately, we don't even have fertility centers willing to sponsor this program. That's as interesting as it sounds, you know, but the show is going on. What can you say to maybe anybody listening, philanthropists, well-meaning people who are passionate about helping others, or even the government, if there are other government officials listening? What do you have to say concerning this program running and not having adequate sponsorship?
Okay. This program is, for me, it's a good program. Let's say one of the best program, because anything fertility is what, you know, pushing forward for. And it needs a lot of support to foster the vision and mission of fertility journey. So we need the government, any agencies, especially the fertility related, the hospitals. It's not only related to, it's not subjected to just the government alone.
Okay.
But it's actually a wide range of, you know, interested organizations to, you know, come together and support the Law Foundation, because Tfesh it's actually going wide.
Okay.
And it needs all it can to foster the program, because you need to talk to people, you need to invite. We have doctors, lawyers we're inviting, and you know, it's not something you can handle yourself. Because now we're taking it to, okay, last time we took it to Enugu. Now we're planning on taking it to other states, Lagos. We are not just relegated to Enugu alone and Port Harcourt.
Yes.
So we need all the support it can get, because now we're passing information. Those in Enugu who attended the program, they are looking forward to another program. So it's going to take a lot of funding.
Yes.
It's financing consumed. Let me put it like that.
Yes.
So if you have, when there's, you know, funds to do things, you see it big and you get more than you even envisaged. So I think, you know, it's very, very important that the Law Foundation needs all the support, and wherever you are there hearing us, you know, you can actually reach out, because we need all your support right now. We need all. June is just by the corner.
Around the corner.
We just have a few months to go. So right now we need all the funding, because we have families who are waiting to get more information. We will not just do it shabbishly. We want to make it full.
Yes, so you have heard it all from my guest, who luckily, very interestingly, she has attended a few times. She saw what is happening and decided on her own to volunteer with Love Foundation. What has that experience been like? Let's even talk about your volunteering experience, because it's so amazing. You've been looking at us from a distance, maybe just following a few of our programs. And then after some time, it just came on you that no, I need to be part of this people. And you've been doing amazingly well with us. I don't even want to start talking about how impactful your presence has been. So let me use the opportunity to say thank you for all that you have been doing with and for us. But for someone who has watched from a distance and then now wearing the shoes with us, what has the experience been like?
Well, the experience has been interesting because I got the opportunity to, especially when we did the school outreach.
Okay.
I had, in fact, you see people asking questions, and you know that people are in dire need of this information. So able to sit and listen, and you are getting more. It's just so wild that things are happening under our nose, and we don't know. So it's a privilege to go out, meet people,
Right.
and give solutions, because there's one thing to hear and there's another thing not to be able to give solutions
about it.
but going around and going school to school, I know how many schools we went to, and they were, oh, please, we need you, please come back. It means that you're passing information. You are giving,
you're doing something.
You're doing something. So the experience for me has been great.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. So, I just needed to just talk a little bit about that experience, because it's very easy to just, sit on the sides and just like, what are these people really doing? But when you get to the field work, you know that a lot needs to be done. It is part of the things that keep us going, despite maybe the obstacles and challenges that we might meet along the way. But when we go out there, we know how hungry people are for information, and it's such a privilege and a joy to be available to meet that need, to mitigate that problem and proffer real life applicable solutions to people.
Yes.
Like we're talking about the school program, we went around schools this year and you could see the ignorance and hunger in these little children when it came to fertility matters. They didn't know much. You'll be surprised. They are living with parents who are not talking to them about these things. Understandably, we are in Africa. That's how it has always been. But they were asking questions, and questions that didn't necessarily have to disrupt their minds, but just set them on the right path on how to handle these matters starting now. And Tfesh is another such opportunity. There are so many adults who are out there. They are on their fertility journey. Unfortunately, they do not know so much. You would not believe it. From the kind of questions you hear in programs like that, you understand that yes, it is something that needs to continue, because that information that we are passing is changing someone's story, changing the narrative for a family, completing a family, and helping the society at large to get better. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So welcome back. We are rounding up on today's edition of the Fertility Talk Show, and we are talking about Tfesh 5.0, which is the fertility show episode, or no, not episode now, season 5. We held 4 editions, and this year we are having the 5th one. This program happens every year in the month of June in commemoration of the World Infertility Awareness Month. Everywhere around the world, the month of June is set aside to talk about infertility, fertility challenges, advancement in fertility medicine, and how to generally reduce the burden of infertility around the world. Love Foundation, every year since 2021, has been hosting the fertility show, where we bring together all those interested in fertility health, and then also bring to them professionals in the fertility industry, to talk to them about advances in fertility medicine, what is obtainable in Nigeria, what they can do to educate them on the various methods or techniques of overcoming fertility challenges. We also bring lawyers who can talk to families, individuals about alternative pathways to fertility solutions here in Nigeria, talking about adoption process, surrogacy, donor cycles, and their legal implications here in Nigeria. It is a fun-filled event where there is music, there's dancing, there are games, prizes to be won, alongside structured teaching around fertility-related topics that educate, enlighten, encourage, embolden, open the eyes of people and cause them to make informed decisions on how to tackle their fertility challenges and to come out of it as quickly as possible. We have had 4 editions of amazing stories and feedback, amazing testimonies, people who have come to learn about the organization, learn about various aspects, learn about fertility centers. That's another interesting thing that has happened in that program. People have come to know about, because there we bring various fertility centers, on ground and get them to talk about their services where applicable. So people have even got to learn about the various fertility centers, the one close to them that they never knew who was in existence. And we have more people going after their fertility solutions and achieving their results. So it has been 4 years of creating impact, blessing lives, and changing the narratives for so many families. And we are here to have another edition come June this year. Publicity is already beginning with this program, and we are calling on all interested persons, be it an individual. You might be watching this and you know someone who might be interested in, being part of this program in terms of sponsorship, advertisements, advert booking, or in whatever capacity, government, parastatals, and organizations who want to partner with us to ensure that this program continues to happen. We are calling on you all. Please be part of this program. The fertility show, Tfesh, like we like to call it now, is something that has impact on everybody's lives. You might not be looking for a child. Your family member, your church member, your colleague, your staff might be looking. So they are calling on companies, sponsor this program. You might have staff that are already in that stage. Their productivity level can be affected by their fertility challenges. So by the time we are bringing fertility solutions to all those who need it, it is impacting in everybody's lives. These people are in our churches. They become better members. They are spending less on fertility solutions if they get their results quickly and are able to focus more on doing whatever they need to do in church. They are your workers. They are affected by their fertility situation, and so it's telling on their jobs. They might not be as productive as they are supposed to be, but if they are supported, if they get their results, they have their solution, they'll become better staff
and more confident.
And more confident staff. They are teachers to your children. They are everywhere in our environment. They are your siblings. They are your church members. They are your neighbors. So please continue to watch this space so that you get all the information as in the hot concerning Tfesh 5.0, and you will do well to be part of it this year. Remember, this program, all that we are talking about, is brought to you by the Love Foundation, which is a fertility support organization based here in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Like I said, you can follow us across all our social media handles. We are on Facebook and Instagram as the Love Foundation. You can find us on TikTok as the Love Foundation. We are also on YouTube. You should be watching this on YouTube as Love Foundation. The handle is love_foundation. You can also reach us on phone via WhatsApp, preferably on 08175629809. However you decide to reach us. If you want to send us an email, you can reach us on info@lovefoundationg lovefoundationng.com. That is info at lovefoundationng as one word.com. However you decide to reach out to us, we will be very glad to hear from you and work with you to ensure that we keep pushing this program forward. So until we bring another edition your way next month, stay blessed. Remember, you are learning for yourself, but more importantly, to teach others. From all of us at Love Foundation, once again, thank you, Mrs. Ifi, for being part of this program. We love you. Stay blessed.